Hello and welcome to our video today. In this video, we are going to explore the life and career of FBG Duck, a rapper who rose to fame in the Chicago music scene. Born Carlton D. Weekly Jr. on December 6, 1993, FBG Duck was a rising star in the rap game until his untimely death in August 2020. FBG Duck's music was a reflection of his life in the streets of Chicago, where he grew up facing the harsh reality of poverty, violence, and crime. Despite the odds against him, FBG Duck managed to break through the music industry and gain international recognition. His music was raw, unfiltered, and unapologetic, speaking to the struggles of those living in underserved communities. In this video, we'll delve into FBG Duck's life and career from his early beginnings to his rise to fame and the controversies that surrounded him. We'll also explore the impact that FBG Duck had on the Chicago music scene and the legacy that he left behind. So sit back, relax, and join us as we take a closer look at the life and career of FBG Duck. Early life. FBG Duck was born on December 6, 1993 in Chicago, Illinois. His real name was Carlton D. Weekly Jr. He was the second of 4 children born to Carlton Weekly Sr. and Lashina Weekly. FBG Duck grew up in the Southside of Chicago in a neighborhood known as St. Lawrence. The neighborhood was known for its high levels of violence and crime, and FBG Duck was exposed to these realities from a young age. FBG Duck's family struggled with poverty, and his parents worked long hours to provide for their children. FBG Duck often felt like he had to fend for himself, and he quickly learned to navigate the dangerous streets of his neighborhood. He was street smart and savvy, and he knew how to survive in a place where danger was always lurking. Despite the challenges he faced, FBG Duck was determined to make something of himself. He was always interested in music, and he began writing and recording his own songs at the age of 13. He would often spend hours in his room writing lyrics and recording them using a cheap microphone and a laptop. FBG Duck's solo career. FBG Duck released his first solo mixtape, Different Personalities, in 2015. The mixtape showcased his unique flow and lyrical ability and helped establish him as a rising star in the rap game. He went on to release several more solo projects, including This How I'm Coming and Big Clout, which featured some of his biggest hits. Impact on the Chicago rap scene. FBG Duck's music was known for its rawness and authenticity, as he often rapped about the harsh realities of life in Chicago's inner city. He also brought attention to the violence and gang activity that plagued the city, and his music became a voice for those who had been marginalized and ignored. Flyboy Gang affiliation and block. FBG Duck's affiliation with the Flyboy Gang. FBG Duck was a member of the Flyboy Gang, or FBG, a gang that was active in Chicago's Southside. The FBG was founded in the early 2010s and was known for its involvement in the city's gang violence. The gang's name, Flyboy Gang, was inspired by FBG Duck's love of fashion and his desire to look fly. FBG Duck often wore expensive designer clothes and accessories in his music videos, and he was known for his flashy style. FBG Duck's affiliation with the gang was well known, and he often referenced his membership in his music. In his song Exposing Me remix, which was released in 2019, FBG Duck rapped, "FBG Duck, yeah, I'm still with the gang," and "Still gang gang until my time up." While FBG Duck's association with the gang may have helped to boost his street credibility and his popularity as a rapper, it also put him in danger. As we will discuss later in the video, FBG Duck's affiliation with the FBG ultimately contributed to his untimely death. The history of the Flyboy Gang. To understand the FBG Duck's affiliation with the Flyboy Gang, it's important to understand the history of the gang. The FBG was founded in the early 2010s by a group of young men from Chicago's South Side. The gang was initially a loose affiliation of friends who shared a common interest in music, fashion, and street life. However, as the gang grew in size and influence, it became more organized and more involved in the city's gang violence. The block. FBG Duck's block was located in the south side of Chicago in the neighborhood of Parkway Gardens. The block was known as Tookaville, and it was named after a member of the Gangster Disciples who was killed in 2011. FBG Duck grew up on Tookaville, and it was the setting for many of his music videos. The block was a notoriously violent and dangerous place, and it was the site of several shootings and murders. Tookaville was also the center of the ongoing gang conflict between the Gangster Disciples and their rivals, the Black Disciples. The conflict had been going on for decades and had claimed countless lives. FBG Duck was one of the casualties of this conflict. He was shot and killed while shopping in the Gold Coast neighborhood of Chicago on August 4, 2020. His death was a shock to the music world and the Chicago community. Rise to fame. FBG Duck's big break came in 2015 when he released his hit single Slide. The song quickly went viral, and it put FBG Duck on the map as one of the Chicago's most promising up-and-coming rappers. Slide was a gritty, intense track that showcased FBG Duck's raw talent as a lyricist. The song was a hit on the streets of Chicago, and it soon caught the attention of major labels. After the success of Slide, FBG Duck continued to release music and gain a following throughout the late 2010s. He released several mixtapes and singles, including Right Now, Mama's House, and Gang Anthem. He was known for his distinctive voice and his ability to sell stories about the realities of life in the inner city. His lyrics were honest and raw, and they resonated with listeners who were also struggling to survive in tough neighborhoods. Collaborations. Over the course of his career, FBG Duck collaborated with a number of other Chicago rappers, including G Herbo. One of his most notable collaborations was with fellow drill artist Rico on the track Death Before Honor. The song features both rappers trading verses about loyalty and betrayal over a haunting beat. FBG Duck also worked with Polo G on the track On a Come Up, which appeared on Polo G's debut album Die a Legend. The song is a tribute to their respective journeys to success, with FBG Duck rapping about his experiences growing up in Chicago's Southside. FBG Duck's music was known for its gritty realism and its unflinching portrayal of life in the inner city. He spoke candidly about the violence, poverty, and trauma that he and his community experienced on a daily basis. His lyrics were often confrontational and controversial, but they were also deeply personal and reflective of his own experiences. Despite his growing success, FBG Duck remained grounded and focused on his music. He was known for his humility and his dedication to his craft. He continued to work hard and release music that resonated with his fans even as he gained national attention. FBG Duck's rise to fame was marked by his raw talent as a rapper and his unapologetic approach to music. He was a voice for those who were often overlooked and ignored, and he used his platform to shed light on the realities of life in the inner city. In the next chapter, we'll take a look at FBG Duck's legacy and the impact he had on the world of hip-hop. The controversy behind Dead Bitches. FBG Duck's Dead Bitches is a diss track that takes aim at his rivals, both dead and alive. The song begins with a menacing instrumental that sets the tone for the track, with FBG Duck's aggressive delivery further reinforcing the song's confrontational nature. Throughout the song, he takes shots at various individuals and gangs, using explicit language to make his message clear. The lyrics of Dead Bitches are highly confrontational and disrespectful, with FBG Duck showing no remorse in his words. He speaks on the deaths of his rivals, mocking them and even wishing harm upon their families. The track is filled with graphic and violent imagery, with FBG Duck using his words to create a sense of fear and intimidation. Dead Bitches is a diss track that pulls no punches in its attack on FBG Duck's rivals, both alive and dead. The song begins with an eerie, almost haunting instrumental that sets the tone for the track. It's a stark departure from the upbeat and catchy instrumentals that many rap songs feature, and it immediately signals to the listener that this song is going to be different. Now, many people have been speculating about the reasons behind FBG Duck's killing, and one theory that has gained a lot of attention is that it was a result of ongoing tensions between him and a rival gang known as O Block. According to sources, FBG Duck had recently released a diss track aimed at Dead Bitches, which had caused tensions to escalate even further. Many believe that this may have been the main reason for his killing. Legacy. FBG Duck's impact on the world of hip-hop was undeniable. He was a talented lyricist who used his music to tell stories about the realities of life in the inner city. He was also a voice for those who were often ignored and marginalized, and he used his platform to shed light on the issues that affected his community. One of FBG Duck's biggest contributions to the world of hip-hop was his role in the Chicago rap scene. He was a part of a new generation of Chicago rappers who were putting their own stamp on the genre. He was part of a movement that was centered around authenticity and honesty, and he helped to redefine what it meant to be a rapper from Chicago. FBG Duck's legacy is one of resilience, determination, and honesty. He was a rapper who spoke truth to power, and he used his music to inspire and empower others. He may be gone, but his impact on the world of hip-hop and on his community will never be forgotten. FBG Duck was a talented and influential rapper who left a lasting impact on the world of hip-hop and on his community. He rose to fame through his raw talent and his unapologetic approach to music, using his platform to shed light on the realities of life in the inner city. His music was honest and reflective of his own experiences, and it resonated with listeners who were also struggling to survive in tough neighborhoods. FBG Duck's legacy lives on through his music, which continues to inspire and empower others. His impact on the world of hip-hop was significant, as he was a part of a new generation of Chicago rappers who were putting their own stamp on the genre. He helped to redefine what it meant to be a rapper from Chicago, and his contributions to the Chicago rap scene will not be forgotten. FBG Duck's life and music were a testament to the resilience and determination of those who come from difficult circumstances. His legacy serves as a reminder of the power of music to unite people and to inspire change. He may be gone, but his impact on the world of hip-hop and on his community will never be forgotten.